Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining from. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. Please confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. Okay, loud and clear. Thank you, Pelumi. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ugo. Good evening. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's event. I'm so excited you all are here. But before we dive in, please, if you know anyone who is meant to be in this room, either your friend who's curious about blockchain, if you have a colleague looking for opportunities, or anybody that's always asking, what's all this about? How do I start? Please go ahead and send them a quick message. Tell them we have started. You can drop it in the group chat, in any group you belong. Tell them we are here and we have started so that no one will miss out on what's about to happen here today. I hope you're all doing that right now. Good evening, Edgar. Good evening, Joshua. Go ahead, put it in the group, call everyone you know, let them come in right now. We have started, okay? Now let's go into today's event. This is the Blockchain Synergy Program, and I welcome you all to this program. This is where we build a smarter economy. And I promise you all that this is not just any online event. This is a conversation that is designed to spark something new, right? Whether it's more money, whether it's more clarity, whether it's more purpose, or how you engage with blockchain technology. I tell you, this is going to be so awesome tonight, okay? So my name is Oge Anene, and I'm your host this evening. I'm a lawyer and a blockchain compliance professional. I help individuals, I help businesses and institutions navigate the exciting digital world. I help them do it safely. I help them do it legally and also strategically, right? And I'm also a cryptocurrency investigator. Yes, I actually help people track stolen monies on the blockchain. I hear a lot of people say, or they still believe that once money enters into crypto, it disappears, it's all gone. They say, oh, crypto is so untraceable. Once it's lost, it's lost. Nope. I'm here to tell you that that is actually a myth, right? The blockchain actually leaves digital footprints. And I've been privileged to work with tools and teams that actually follow those trails. They uncover hidden transactions and they bring clarity where most people see chaos, right? So I'm really happy to work at the intersection of law, technology, and innovation. And if there's actually one thing I've learned is that blockchain is no longer a futuristic buzzword. It's no longer those things that you say, oh, blockchain is a fad. It doesn't exist. It actually does, right? It's here and it's here to stay. It's no longer a fad. Blockchain is shaping economies, it's influencing careers, and it's creating entirely new opportunities right now for people. And that's exactly why we are gathered here today. We are here to demystify it. We are here to explore its potential, and we are here to see how it can help you build smarter. Okay, so because we know that more people are actually looking for ways to expand, they're actually looking for things to do, ways to grow their income, gain influence in this digital age, and blockchain holds some of the answers that you are actually looking for, right? And that brings us to the reason why we are here today. Okay, so now please allow me introduce you today to someone who truly embodies this mission, right? He's one of the most forward-thinking voices in digital entrepreneurship and blockchain innovation. His name is Uche Ray McDonald. So allow me tell you just a little about him, right? So Uche is a highly respected digital strategist and business visionary who has empowered individuals, empowered businesses across Africa and beyond to leverage technology for financial growth and business transformation. From startup founders to seasoned professionals, he has guided individuals and organizations to unlock new income streams, build communities, navigate the complexities of the digital economy with clarity and with confidence as well. So as the convener of Powerhouse Tribe, Uche is not just building businesses, he's building people. He's building people who are ready to explore the future of digital models, right? So ladies and gentlemen, please, I want you all to go in the chat right now to type in R-A-Y, Ray, as we welcome to this space, Mr. Uche Ray McDonald. He's the brilliant mind behind the Blockchain Synergy Program. Type in R-A-Y, Ray, into the chat as we welcome him to give us, to dive into today's conversation with us. R-A-Y, I'm not seeing it. R-A-Y, Ray. Yes, thank you, Ray. Thank you, Prime Falcon. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ugo. R-A-Y, Ray. Mr. Ray, are you there? R-A-Y, Ray. Type in Ray in the chats before this conversation begins. Yes, I see all of you. I see Ugo. I see Joshua. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Ray, are you there? Let's hit up this conversation tonight and tell us what you have for us. Papa Ray. I call him Papa Ray. Papa Ray, are you here?
Hello, hello, hello. Amazing
Hi.
evening, everybody. Amazing evening, everybody. Awesome. Thank you so much, Oge. Please, you guys should join me to appreciate Oge for that wonderful introduction. And for those who are just getting to know her, I'm sure she did well to explain her background. And just to also put it clear, that every conversation that we are going to have is a conversation designed to help you by legal and by credible means necessary. So once again, each and every one of you are welcomed to today's conversation. Okay, so we are going to dive deeply into it. And this, by all means, is not designed to just be a presentation. It is designed to be a conversation. So I want us to take note of that. It's designed to be a conversation. So I'm going to block up my video a bit because where I am is not well lit. And also because I also want the network signal to be, steady. Okay. So a quick feedback. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me on this call? I will need the feedback from everyone who is part of this conversation, okay? So I want us, if we are going to be here for the next few minutes, 40 minutes that we are going to be here, this is going to be important that we are here, okay? It's going to be important that by all means necessary that we are here, all right? If you have something else that you are doing, and you've taken your time to be here, it just makes a whole lot of sense that the time that you're going to spend, you get as much value as you can from being here on today's conversation, okay? And we'll also make do with the time so that at the end of the day, we just didn't talk. The conversation means something to you, meets a particular need for you. That's the essence. Because at the end of the day, if none of these meets any need for you, to what purpose is it then? Okay, to what purpose is it then? So on today's conversation, we'll be covering basically, but not entirely, but we'll be covering how blockchain is the next wave of financial abundance. That's on the footprint. And then we'll also be talking about how blockchain can be a means for people who have a business, for people who have something that they are doing already. How can this technology be a means for you to, raise money to grow your business? Because we are in an economy where people are struggling. Okay, we are in an economy where people who own businesses are struggling. They are not making profits. They are just running circles in business year to year. Business is not growing. Income is not as it ought to be. So if there is one thing that we agree on the online potential. We agree that there is a digital gold mine. And we can't just keep, moving from one pillar to post, expecting that solution will come out if we don't have a strategy to meet it. So the essence of the conversation is to bring that to bear. How can you be able to create cash flow at a time like this when creating cash flow is an issue for Africans? Let me just bring it down home to Nigerians. And then how can you also leverage community to achieve the kind of growth that you desire? So these are the foundational conversations that we are going to have. So in the next 40 minutes that we are going to be here, do yourself this favor. Set aside every distraction that will take you away from the scope of why you are here in the first place. And then let's focus on the real deal and have a conversation that benefits you and also benefits your time. Okay? So with that said, today we'll be talking about the future of work and finance. And I'm excited about this particular subject topic. And just to also lay it out there, most of what I know today, I didn't learn it overnight. Okay? Oge just introduced herself as a lawyer. And she's also in the blockchain space, doing a whole lot of things in the blockchain space. So it is not an overnight thing, it is a journey. And this is why tonight is not a webinar, it is a program. So because it is a program, it is a journey for you. It is not one of those sections that you come and you are bombarded with too much information, and at the end of the day, you can't do anything with that information. The essence is to put you through a program, put you through a process, that you follow that process, and every single time you're going through that process, you are achieving the goals that you desire. So that is the essence. So particularly, we'll be talking about blockchain, tokenization, but most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking about community. All right, community. So first and foremost, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the Powerhouse community. The world is evolving so fast, and it's good that we understand where this world is heading to. So firstly, we might have businesses that we do. We might have one or two things that we are even doing online. We might have some shops, some traditional setups that you have where you work, a career that you're building. Whatever that is good. That is a very good, plan B. Sorry, a very good plan A system to ride on. That is absolutely good. But if it is enough, then you won't be on this call. If whatever it is you are doing gives you 100% satisfaction and there is no need for you to want more, then I guarantee you there will be no need for you to be on this call. And the essence of what we are doing as a community is to create a neighborhood of wealthy people. We are strategically concerned about that particular subject topic, a neighborhood of wealthy people. And when we are talking about wealthy people, we're not just talking about wealthy people in the sense of just finance. We are talking about all-around wealth, because health is wealth. We are talking about your spiritual health. We are talking about, a whole lot of things, relationships. But for the essence of the conversations that we are having today, we will restrict it to basically finance. So the idea is for us to have a thriving neighborhood of wealthy people where people are succeeding using different modalities. So ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to today's conversation. And just so you understand more about our community, Powerhouse is a digital first learning and growth community. So let me make you understand this. If there is one thing that we all agree as a people, is that the money that we are looking for is not just on the streets anymore, it's online. If there is one thing that we agree on as a people, it is the fact that this income, this breakthrough, whatever it is that we are gunning for, it's no more traditional as the case may be. It is totally online. So how do we come onto the online space and get these results? And you can't just afford to just jump in online and expect just because people are coming in on the online space, they are doing one thing or the other, whether it is Forex, whether it is e-commerce, whether it is crypto, whether it is whatever it is. You can't just expect to dabble in and expect to get results. And this is the reason why the conversation that we are having exists, for you to gain clarity in today's noisy digital economy. But most importantly, for you to explore very good and unique cash flow models and tap into community support. And we are going to talk about a whole lot of things about community, but it's good that we understand where this foundation is. So our focus is to be able to have digital opportunities that are very simple for anybody to apply. When I'm talking about simple, I mean, it is not a brainy stuff. It is not rocket science. It is something that anybody who wishes to learn can easily learn it immediately, apply it immediately, and create results immediately. So that is the essence, all right? Nothing technical, but in a very, very simple form. And I want to believe that we are excited about that, okay? So what is our vision as a community? Because it's good we understand what is the scope of what we are doing. I'm going to get to the blockchain part, but I want you all to pay attention to this whole entire journey. Like I said, it is a journey. It is not a one-time conversation that you go and press a button and something just begins to happen. It is a journey. And our journey and our vision in that journey is to build a forward-thinking community that empowers individuals to innovate. Because if you are not innovating, it is as simple as the case may be that you are going to die. And I'm going to give you statistics to also go by that. Many of us know about giant tech companies like Nokia, BlackBerry. I mean, these are projects, these are businesses that were multi-millions at a time that failed to innovate. So you can imagine as a human being existing on one particular trajectory and you are not innovating in any way. It's a matter of time before you die. A whole lot of things will change and you are stagnant. You will not grow. So that is a core thing. And then for you to be able to create impact and also thrive. And the idea is for you to achieve all these leveraging digital tools, utilizing, tech-driven strategies. Because like I said, this money is on the online space, it's digital, it's tech-driven. And if we are going to go into that path, we have to go into it strategically in order to get the result that we want to get. So at the core of it, we'll be having very transformative conversations to unlock, for people who are going to be part of these conversations to unlock very good income streams and also grow in the process, because the idea is for you to grow. If you're making money and you're not growing, what is the essence? All right. And at the same time, for you to gain financial relevance. What gives you importance as a person in today's world is income, is cash flow. The respect in most cases that you are also going to get is based on the kind of value, financial value that you command, amongst many other things. So it's important that if you have every other thing going good for yourself, that at the same time, you have a financial relevance. You have financial authority. So this is the reason why this conversation makes sense for people who is very much concerned about the subject of finance, but most importantly, also the subject of money. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want you all to get very comfortable with us talking about money, because, it is one of the biggest problems that we have as a people, as a nation. It is one of the biggest problems that we have. So let us take that in. I want us to get very comfortable with the subject of money. If we get comfortable with that, then a whole lot of things can unfold and a whole lot of things can make sense as you make headway. All right? So, like I said, you can't afford to come into the online space. You can't afford to come into the digital scope, and you want to create wealth for yourself. You want to create any form of result for yourself, and you don't have a strategy. You don't have a strategy. It doesn't make sense. You will simply dabble in, try out a few things, and after a time, you discover, okay, this thing is not working. Maybe I need to change from this and jump into that. And this, in most cases, is what a whole lot of people do. They dabble in and dabble out, making a mess of their reputation, making a mess of their names, because of their inconsistency, because they don't have a strategy, because they don't have a blueprint that they are operating with. And this is also what makes us unique as a community, because the idea is to have a strategy, a framework. And what is that framework? We are operating by a simple framework called BRAF. And I'll walk you through that in a deep. So firstly, it's very good that we understand the need to pay attention to trend, because trend is key. Whether we like it or not, trend is key. When you operate in a business and your business is not in line with the trend, you are either going to suffer in that business. After a time, you get frustrated, and after a time, you fall out. So the idea is to identify with the trend, but not just to identify with the trend, to strategically identify with the trend. And in our community, we go by a simple framework called BRAFT. And what is BRAFT? It's an acronym for blockchain, real estate, AI, fintech, and but most importantly, tribe, which is the community. So I'll walk you through this. Today we are in a time where everybody is talking about, cryptocurrency. How do I trade this cryptocurrency? The crypto space has made a whole lot of people millionaires. To most people, even billionaires, which is good. But the crypto conversation is just a subsection of this whole entire discussion of the blockchain. So can we let go of the noise of crypto? I will take that again. We are in a space where everybody are all talking about cryptocurrency. And in that space, most people are making money, most people are losing money. That is good, that is fine. Everybody should play around what they want to play around. It's all good. But for us as a community, we are not concerned about the subject of crypto because it is a subsection of something. It is not the main gist. And this is why we are concerned about the major topic of blockchain. And then we step it further. If you pay attention today, literally everybody, if you have 10 friends, about 7 of them are all talking about real estate. And what is the conversation on the real estate? How do we buy? How do we sell? How do we buy? How do we develop? How do we sell? I'm not saying that is bad. Pay attention. I'm not saying that is bad. I'm saying that real estate have gotten to a new level entirely, and most people are not paying attention. And for most of you who are in this conversation today, who get to understand certain things and start implementing, I put it to you that you're going to have an edge over a whole lot of people. Because take it or leave it. I might not have a property within my location, but I have a property in Europe. And I don't need to step in Europe. I don't need to travel to Europe. I can stay in Nigeria and receive rent in Europe. I can stay in Ghana and receive rent in Singapore. I mean, that is next level real estate. It is not the usual African real estate. So can we start understanding that level of real estate? Some people in this call today have real estate companies that they want to scale, but they don't even have the money, the finance to scale it. Not understanding that there is a technology on ground that they can take that their business and bring it into the space and be able to scale it faster, more lucratively. But they are not catching up with the idea of what this technology is doing. So by all means, they are already behind. And I put it to you that if you're already in the space and start understanding certain things like this, automatically you are going to have an edge. There is no two ways about it. So information today stands at the people who not just hear about it firstly, but who start acting on it as fast as possible. Today, everybody is talking about AI. People are doing a whole lot of visual stuff with AI. People are making very good movies with AI. Some people who have very good online skills are putting AI into all that, and they are, scaling up their productivity and their income in the process. Most people are still struggling to find out, how do I understand how to use AI to make money? Make no mistake, all these are all part of the conversations. We are not going to talk too much about all of them, but it's good you understand where this trend is so that you know, how do I start putting myself, identifying myself with this trend? And what tool, what resources can I start deploying to get the result that I need to get? Whether it is a financial result, whether it is career result, whatever that is your own personal ambition. My work is to open up the strategy, open up the conversation, open up your eyes to what is available,
that you can use and maximize that usage. And of course, fintech. And then the tribe, which is community. Whatever it is that you're doing and you're doing it solo, it's a matter of time you get frustrated as well. I mean, community is the core of everything. There is a reason why Facebook has groups. There is a reason why WhatsApp has groups. There is a reason why Telegram has groups. There is a reason why platforms where people exist, there are groups, because of the need for community. So we can't say that we want to create wealth. We can't say that we are working towards a particular idea, a particular ambition for ourselves, and there is no community that brings everybody together towards that particular vision. It's already an error. So these are the things that we are going to cover a little bit, but most importantly, we are going to focus on the subject for tonight of blockchain and community. The subject of blockchain and community. So why are we focusing on blockchain? Like I said, it is not just crypto. It's an entirely new infrastructure for wealth creation. It's an entirely new dynamics that at this moment, even Nigerians are still struggling to understand it. That's why they are focused on the lesser topic. Nigerians are trying to understand blockchain. Most people are yet to understand it. So they are all focused on the lesser discussion, which is crypto. And my goal is to bring you out from a lesser discussion up to a part where you understand the higher discussion, so that you can move from just finance and start talking about much more value-driven concepts. I mean, that is the essence. So it's good we understand that the topic of blockchain is changing everything as we know it. Every single thing as we know it. But I'm not going to be the person to convince you on that need for you to understand what blockchain is changing and what it is not changing. Okay? This is a very short interview. I'm sure the person on this screen, that you know the person, CZ, who happens to be the founder of the biggest crypto exchange in the world, Binance. I want you to listen. In an interview, he was asked a particular question about blockchain. I want you to listen to what this guy has to say about blockchain. Pay attention, not cryptocurrency, blockchain. So pay attention to what he has to say.
So how will blockchain change our lives in the future? So it's a big question, but you are the icon of blockchain industry, so you can answer the question, I think.
I think blockchain is going to be everywhere. And I think in the future, blockchain will be successful enough that we don't use that word anymore. Mm-hmm. So today we don't talk about internet. We just talk about, I saw this short video. This other guy did this thing. I just bought this thing online. We don't talk about the internet. Today, we're still at the stage we talk about the blockchain. We're still talking about internet. 20 years ago, we're talking about TCP, IP, HTML, all these other technical jargons that we no longer talk about. So blockchain will get there. And when blockchain gets there, it means that it's everywhere. It means that you just pay for things. It's done on the blockchain, but you don't care about that. You raise money on the blockchain. You don't talk about ICOs. You just look, I have a project, I need to raise money. You contract with a worker with your teams globally, and you pay them in crypto or stable coins or whatever, and you don't talk about blockchain. So you have your phone, which has a wallet on it, but you don't talk about private keys. So we will get there. You will be everywhere. Today, if you use money, if you use digital identity, digital verification, anything that's transactional, you will use blockchain in the future. All of those things eventually will be 99% replaced by blockchain technologies. But blockchain is not for everything, right? So in Web2 is still Web2. You can still read a physical book. So it's not for everything, but for everything that's transactional related, I think blockchain will eventually get there. Maybe 20 years, maybe 30 years, who knows?
Okay, so I'm going to ask an open question, and please do this favor for me. All right. This video that just played, I want to be sure that it was quite audible. I want to be sure about that. But I want to ask an open question, and I need a feedback from every one of you. All right. You heard what he said. What were you able to pick from this particular conversation, this particular insight that CZ just shared? I want to get your own feedback. What was one interesting thing that you were able to pick from what CZ just shared right now? I'll be reading the comments. Okay, I'll be reading the comments. I want to get your feedback. What were you able to pick from what CZ just shared? Okay, blockchain is evolving, a new way of doing things. All right. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Don't tell me we just had only 2 people who paid attention to the conversation, and we have 17 people on this call. Blockchain is the next internet. Good. Good. Okay. I don't want us, the conversation of blockchain is, less technical. I don't want us to go to the Web3 and the Web2 parts. It's a journey. So we start from where we are and then we scale it up. Okay. Good. Blockchain is the future, and we shape the future of everything internet. Blockchain will take over everything transactional. Thank you for that feedback. So let's go back to the main gist. Let's go back to the main gist. All right. So this is what I want you to get. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Just look at this. With everything that this guy talked about, that blockchain is going to be this, is going to be that, he's talking about it as a futuristic conversation. But at the moment, in our present time, he has already set up a system that is generating over $35 trillion every 12 months. I want you to think about that for a reason. The whole discussion, the whole insight that he took his time to share about what blockchain is going to be, they were all futuristic. But at the moment, he has already set up a system that is generating over $35 trillion worth of transaction every 12 months. So at the moment, if this thing is going to become this thing in the next how many years, and I start crawling now, where would I be? This is how a whole lot of people, a whole lot of our parents missed out on waves of financial transformation. Most of our parents had opportunities to have stocks, to have shares of very huge companies. They never had them. The conversation was there, they never had them. And be it as it may, most of us at the same time would likely throw that particular line. So this conversation is to awaken us from the slumber to start paying attention to certain things. Now, not later, now. Okay? So because whether we like it or not, the future is already here. The future is already here. And it's important that we don't just sleep on it. It's important that if we need to change how our 2026 is going to look like, that we pay attention to where value is going to. And what that means, not just long term, what can it also start meaning now? Because somebody is having a conversation for a long term, but at the moment, what does it mean for him? Short term. So yes, there is avenue to look forward to something very futuristic. And this is why we pay attention seriously to trend. Because where is the next wave of money going to? This is where it is going to. But at the moment, what can we do with it now? So briefly, I'll walk you through the 3 unique ways to profit from the blockchain space, which at the moment, most of you are already exploring some of them. Some of you are already doing crypto transactions, which is good. I mean, scale it up, but don't limit yourself to that conversation. You will be doing yourself a disservice to limit yourself to just having crypto conversations. How do I buy a coin? How do I buy this token? You know, you will be limiting yourself too much when you should strategically be positioning yourself to build wealth, not get rich. Not get rich. The whole discussion is not for you to get rich. But if you understand it and understand it well enough and understand the strategy being deployed, ladies and gentlemen, you will have a blueprint to create wealth. And this is why we exist as a neighborhood of wealthy people, ladies and gentlemen. So firstly, tokenization. I mean, of the three ways that makes a whole lot of sense for wealth creation in the blockchain space, tokenization is a key thing. Now, I want you, I mean, if you are new to the subject topic of what we are talking about today, the blockchain technology and all, I want you to keep something. You can, write some of all these things down somewhere. And at the same time, after all these conversations are over, you open up yourself to research. Because I put it to you that by the time you start asking Google certain questions, you start asking, trying to find out some of all this information, going on YouTube to learn one or two things, something will happen to your phone. The whole cookie, the whole arrangement will change to providing you information to one thing that you have been asking about. So if you've been asking about blockchain, you will see naturally information about blockchain will start coming to your devices. So I want you, there are things that are strange to you that you want to take your time and put them somewhere and start researching today. Especially if you've made up your mind that you also want to go through this program. Okay. So firstly is the tokenization. Now, the easiest way that I can easily explain tokenization, and this is also for business people, because I know that there are a whole lot of people who own very good businesses, very big businesses that are in this conversation tonight. And most of them have been looking for, how do I even drive my business? How do I grow my business from what it is? They have a business that is doing a very good turnover, but they want investors in that business. How do I grow it out of proportion? Time has passed when people are looking for investors to invest in their business. All those things are no more, a time is coming, it will fizzle up. I mean, it's no more time for you to look out for just investors to invest in your businesses. When you can tokenize your business, I mean, your business can easily become a token. It's like being a share. Your business can be shares that people buy. Today, you go to the cryptocurrency. I mean, for people who are already familiar with cryptocurrency, you go and you buy meme coins and all those things. I don't know why people are not taking out their time to understand value for value. I don't know why. Because when people spend money on meme coins, sometimes I wonder, I mean, what do you think you're even purchasing in the first place? What do you think meme coins represent? Basically nothing, because they are all concerned about how do I just get rich. So this conversation, by all means, is not geared to helping you get rich. It's trying to open up your eyes so that you start understanding where value is and how to create wealth from value. So tokenization, and you can research about tokenization. And today we are having consultants, we are having, establishment organizations that are positioning to help people tokenize their businesses. It simply means that your business can become a share. But instead of getting listed in the stock exchange market, your business can get listed on exchanges. If you ask me, that is a better approach towards a global adoption of your business. So you can attract money that is not just Nigerian money, that is not Ghana cedis, that is not African money. You can attract global money to your business. I'm talking specifically on this part for people who own businesses, for people who are startup founders. These are the angles that you should be going towards. All right. And then DeFi. What is DeFi? The full name is decentralized finance. I mean, today, in the normal scale of operations, we have our banking system. And in the banking systems, what do? You come, you deposit money, and you withdraw. I hope you know that when your money is deposited in the bank, it doesn't necessarily mean that your money sleeps in the bank. Your money is lent out to someone who uses your money for a form of business and returns it with an interest. Sadly, your money is being loaned out to do something to somebody who pays the bank but never pays you. Now, what the decentralized finance system has done is to do the same thing that your banks has done, but to be able to give you that access for your money to go out, work for you, and still come back and pay you in the process. So you can deposit your money, you can withdraw it with interest. This can be a little bit technical, but like I said, it is a journey. I just want you to catch the full scope of things. That instead of you wasting your time and your resources and investing your money in unsustainable platform, ladies and gentlemen, you can send your money on an errand in a DeFi platform and have your money pay you, and not taking your money to invest it in somebody who does not have any financial background on how to grow money. That's what the conversation is, ladies and gentlemen. And these are some of the unique features that are available on the blockchain space. Are we together? And then dipping. You know, the conversation of dipping is a little bit more physical. So I will paint a picture. Let's assume that you and I, we own shares of MTN, which is good, because if MTN appreciates in global value, you know, we get to make money. But that is shares and that is our token. But look at it this way. What if I own the marks that people use to get internet in their homes? What if I own that particular physical infrastructure? What if I own that stuff? So there is a new era of money that it also unlocks for me. Now that is what the dipping does. Dipping is the physical representation of what is going on this online space called blockchain. And what that means is that I can own a device that mints money for me. And these are some of the advantages, these are some of the opportunities that people within our community are privileged to have access to. How do you have a device, not your TV, your DSTV, that you get to spend money on a monthly basis? How do you have a device that is in your home that mints money for you? Every day that you wake up, you don't need to work for that money because that device has worked on your behalf. So you see, the concept of how blockchain can change how we are making money is so dynamic and so unique that you can't flag it down and tie it down to just cryptocurrency as a subject topic. There's a whole lot of stuff. And a whole lot of people within our region, within our space, are yet to catch up with this line of conversation. And this is why it makes sense that people today get to understand them, implement them, and also get to be the people to create results and also teach other people these things. I don't want to be the only person creating some of these results and a few other people are creating these results. We want to have the whole lot of people who are understanding how all these things work, utilizing it, creating results, and showing people the right way to engage and create wealth for themselves. So like I said, this is not a subject topic of you coming to get rich by all means. All these conversations are designed in a way that if you start understanding them and start following them strategically, ladies and gentlemen, give yourself time, give yourself a deadline, put yourself together, you're going to create wealth over time, not immediately, but definitely over time. So how do you leverage DeFi to create cash flow? I will just walk through this briefly. There are many ways. And it's not something that is so capital intensive that you need to, sell your properties, sell your cars. No. All these systems are existing and you can start from wherever your purse can take you to. And the amazing thing is that you can make this money daily. And why am I emphasizing on the conversation of daily? Because today, it's very important that we pay attention to how do we create cash flow, not investments. I mean, if you don't have cash flow, then you should not be thinking about investments. Because if you end up having investments and you don't have cash flow, it is a matter of time before you liquidate your investment and make it a cash flow. Or liquidate the investment and spend it just to survive. So the discussion is, how does this thing make sense well enough for you to create cash flow that you wake up every day and you are not scared about how you will survive that day because something has provided the money that you need to survive that day? That is the need for cash flow. And if you're already someone who already have a salary work that is bringing in consistent money for you to take care of certain needs, and you set this aside as well, then you can build it up to a point that your cash flow that you've set aside can be used to create investment systems for you. So like I said, all these are journey. They are all strategies. You can't afford to say you want to go and make money in this digital period, with all this, and, you don't have a strategy of engagement. You don't have a blueprint on how you want to engage in that journey. It's a matter of time. You shoot yourself in the foot. So what the DeFi does is that it gives you opportunity to earn daily interest without giving any Tom, Dick, and Harry your money, without giving all these fraudulent organizations your money, without giving all these schemes that does not know anything about financial, management your money. You handle your money very well by yourself. You understand what to do with them, and you do it and create income, cash flow for yourself every single day. So that's what the DeFi does. And then dipping. How do you utilize dipping? It's simple. I'm sure some of you must have heard about mining machines. Some of them Bitcoin mining machines, all those mining rigs and all of those. All those things are dipping. But dipping has changed, has evolved. I wouldn't use the word change, but I would say evolved from the concept it was 10 years ago to a totally dynamic and much more unique concept as of today, because every day technology is advancing. So the technology that was a core thing 10 years ago is not the same today in terms of operation, basically. So how do you start having access to those machines? How do you start having access to all those devices that you can buy instead of you spending money and buying an expensive phone and you can't use it to create anything for yourself, apart from social media and the rest? What kind of stuff can I do with devices that I can be able to make cash flow from? So all these things that I'm talking about, whether it is the tokenization part, whether it is the DeFi part, whether it is the dipping part, all of them are core foundations that a total newbie, a total person who does not know jack about crypto trading, who does not know much about blockchain as a technology, can adapt. And I don't mean, taking 1 week, 1 month, 1 year to understand. I mean something that in 1 day, you can understand it, you can implement it, and from day one, it can start creating results for you. It can start bringing in cash flow to your pocket every day. So while you step up to go and hustle, while you step out to go and work, while you step up to go and do your business, something else is assisting you behind the scene. And in most cases, that thing that is assisting you behind the scene might also be more productive than you. Because money has more ways of duplicating itself than you duplicating yourself for money. So what am I saying, ladies and gentlemen? How do you start understanding this concept today in such a way that you start employing them to create results for you financially? So these are the conversations that we have as a community. And, when it comes to the conversation of deepening, we have a thorough section dedicated to it. About last week, we just had a meeting with, some stakeholders, who are excited about engaging in conversations like this, engaging in concepts like this in Abuja. And it's also very important that some of these informations are not left out for the elite. It's also very important that you all who are also hungry for information like this, for opportunities like this, you start understanding it now and start implementing it now, not later, not in the next year, not next month, as fast as possible, ladies and gentlemen. So I think this is where I will bridge our conversation for tonight. Like I said, this is a journey, and I'm on a race to make sure that this conversation exists for about 40 minutes. But what I'm going to do briefly is to bring a few people to this conversation that, we are going to discuss with, just so that you have insight about what is going. I'm going to call them up so that they also share their own experience on their journey, whether through the DeFi platforms, for you to hear from them. What is it that they are doing differently? How is the result like for them? For how long has it even been for them? What is it for them? Okay, so on the first call up that I'm going to be inviting, I would want to invite Ifeanyi on the call. Ifeanyi, I don't know if you are here. Just indicate, type in yes on the chat section. I want to invite Ifeanyi. Okay, with the name J. Okay. Hold on, I want to unmute you so that you share some feedbacks, and we'll take it off from there. Just so we are together, right? We are not. Jay, are you there? I can't see you anymore. Okay, you can now unmute yourself. So Jay is someone, he's my own brother as well. We had a conversation some time ago, and I happened to put him through what is going on in the community. He understood what is going on with the community, an avenue for him to create wealth using blockchain and DeFi. He is in the online space, but this subject topic was a bit new to him. However, he decided, okay, I want to see how this works and I want to see how this plays out. So I will just leave it for him so that he share his own background and experience in 1 minute with the guest on the call. So Jay, the mic is yours.
All right.
So firstly, I just want you, just briefly, so that we don't waste a whole lot of time. I just want you to share what has been your experience since you started engaging in the conversations that we are having, firstly. And secondly, I also want to find out, in terms of the finances, what have you been doing and what has the results also been for you? Just share, just be plain. I don't want you to try to, hype anything. What we are doing does not need hype. Result is results, okay? So just give us your own personal experience from the first time you started having access to this conversation, started applying them, and the result financially as well, what it has also meant for you. So go ahead, just briefly in 1 minute.
Okay, good evening. My name is Jay, Justin, precisely, you can call me Justin. Since I started into this blockchain journey, it has been amazing. It has been awesome. At first, I had no idea, but as time goes on, I have to sit down and think about it and ask myself if this is something if this is something I have to get into. I have to put all my whole mind into it to know the outcome. So I did. I started the journey on July. Yeah. So, and I have been going through the journey. It has been something amazing to me. And right now, I'm telling you, I I just have totally made up a way that I can able to create cash flow into my life. Like, you know, I don't have to hope on salaries, and I don't have to hope on where my next pay is coming from. You know, I just have to do things knowing that, you know, I have something behind me creating a cash flow for me. And so, with the whole process and the profit I'm seeing, I'm still planning to go all in. I'm still planning to go all in into this blockchain idea. So I'm still venturing into learning more, and to, you know, join more group to learn more. And
Sorry to cut you short, Jay. Sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you,
Yeah.
just sorry to cut you short. In terms of the finance, I just want you to also give us in terms of the finance, can you say that, okay, I'm making from this on a monthly base, on a daily base, like just it must not exactly be specific. It might be just like an average. How much can you say, like every single day that you're making, you know, something like that? Just give us a view.
Oh, okay. Right now, I think I'm making close to 400K, $400 daily. Yes, in calculation. It could be more than that, but if I should put it in just, you know, I think I'm making like 400K every day. So it's something that is amazing, you know.
So let's be specific. 400K in naira or in dollar, and is it in
No,
a month or in a week or per day? You know, I just want the informations to be right.
yeah. If the 400K is monthly. If I should say it's monthly, and in dollars, yeah.
Okay. So, specifically, you're making about 400,000 naira on a monthly base. That's what you're trying to say.
Not naira. Not
$400 every month.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. So how long has this journey been for you?
It's not been long because when I heard about it and you told me about it, I just had to go all in. You know, I don't like.
So from the time that you started till now, like what's the duration? How long can you say it is? How long can you say it is?
I started on either June, July. Either June, July, yeah. I started from June, July till now. So
No, we are not yet in July. We are still in June. We are not yet in July.
Sorry, June. Yeah, June. So it's just a few months.
So basically, you started this month, and at the moment, you're making about $400 already.
Yes, exactly. You know,
good.
It's been something good. It's been a good journey for me.
And just to also give you guys a heads up with the process and with the guide that he's having access to, he's likely making this for the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, with everything that he already has access to. Okay, like I said, it's all tools, it's all access to very good information that he can deploy, and he's doing them strategically. And at the moment, he's making good money, I must say. And, he's a very young guy doing good for himself. And I think that if he follows up the system, the strategy, and keeps it going, that he can actually make more. So that would be it for you, Jay. I would also want to invite, I don't know if Vicky is here. Okay, I can see Vicky. Just give us a quick overview of your own experience within the community. Unmute yourself. Just give us in 1 minute. I want the house to also have an idea of your own particular experience within the community. Your own journey. Just share with the house. Let them know. Just share with the house. Okay. So feel free to unmute yourself, Vicky. The mic is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Ray, I must thank you for the insight you are giving this night. Thank you for the information. Okay, as a community, the Powerhouse, there is a whole lot to take advantage from this community. There's a whole lot. Yes, joining this community has been helpful. Just like you rightly said, there are so many ways to make money. There is so much to be made online, but the guidance is what a whole lot of people are lacking. The guidance, how you can make this money from online. There are a whole lot of noise going on online. But when you are in a community like this, and you are getting the right information, you are getting the right guidance to how and which is the right opportunity to put your money in. I think that is the key. Joining the Powerhouse community has been so helpful in terms of making money, in terms of building relationships, in terms of contacts. So it has been a good one for me. Through this Powerhouse, through the Powerhouse community, I have met so much in terms of finances. I have built relationship, and the learning is awesome. So it's a good one for me, and I will also encourage everyone here. This is just the beginning. Just like the brother that just gave his own testimony. Yeah, he started, and I know we've been talking about this, but from his own testimony now, I know that everybody will believe, okay, this is truly happening. But if you're not in a community and you don't have access to someone that is making it real, you will believe that, you might not believe that someone is making this kind of money from this opportunity. So having a community that guides you, that holds you by the hand and show you where and how to put your money and make the right use of it, I think one might be making a mistake. So I thank the Powerhouse for all you are doing, and I believe a whole lot of people are going to benefit from this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vicky. So on the chat, we have a question. Somebody was asking if it is $400,000 per month. No, it is not. There are possibilities to make that. I mean, the space that we are operating with is a money space. It's good we understand that the raw material there is money and value, money and value. And guess what? Wherever value goes, money follows. Okay, it's as simple as that. So, but it's not $400,000 per month. No. It is $400 per month. I wanted that to be clear. That's why I needed to ask him that specifically, so that he can make it clear. $400, a little bit over $400, but just to put it in a round figure, about $400 every month without doing anything. So you can punch in your own calculator and find out what $400 could mean in Naira. You can punch in your calculator. And then someone was asking, what was your input? Ladies and gentlemen, what we are talking about here is not about invest and get this. It's not this ROI stuff that a whole lot of us are all used to. None of that. Okay? None of that. The conversation is not, this is what I'm investing, this is the expected ROI. No. The conversation is different, is dynamic, and there is a process to it. And if you follow that process, result is going to come. But when we are talking about what was the input, ladies and gentlemen, you can play in this field with any money. This is not one of those things that they tell you, you must start with 1 million Naira. You can start with 10 million Naira. You must start with 100,000. You must start with a particular amount. With any amount that you want, it's a process. When you begin, then you start understanding, okay, if my 100,000 Naira is able to do this for me, what can this amount do? You work your maths by yourself, but by no means is it designed in such a way that there is a particular amount that ties it down to your neck that you must start. Okay, so that's the foundational discussion there. So to sum it up, All right, it's very good that we understand this. And just in case you are not already in touch with us, please do well to connect with us across social media platforms. It's very important that you connect with us so that you follow up on the conversations that we are having as a community. Okay, you engage with us at the same time. We are a growing community, but we are also a very result-oriented community designed for people within there to get results. Okay. Now, how do you also become a member of our community? Simply go to our website, allpowerhouse.com/membership. The link will be shared on the group tonight for those who want to be a member of the community. And from today, because of the nature of this program, from today till Wednesday, because we are also having this conversation on a Sunday, and there are some people who are in the East who have a whole lot of issues with Mondays, shenanigans. So from today till Wednesday, everyone has an opportunity to come and become a member of Powerhouse with as little as $29. But after Wednesday, you want to join the community, it's going to cost you about $79 to be a member of our community. But from today till Wednesday, you want to be a part of the community. Guess what you're going to access? All these conversations that we just had, you're going to have access to them. But most importantly, you will be connected to a group where the main gists are happening. In that group, we are talking about these are the things that you do to create this money. And it is not tied down to how much you have. Any amount that you have, you can begin your journey. That's what I'm talking about. Any amount that you have, you can begin your journey. Any amount. All right. So this is the foundational step. First of all, how do you become a part of this whole program? How do you become a part of the community in general? Simply go to the website, connect. The website is there in your screen. It will also be shared on the groups. And if you are connected on this call today and you are not from the groups, you can reach back to the person who invited you and ask them for the link. And from there, you're going to have access to join the community and also start enjoying some of these benefits. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is where we are going to drop the curtains for today's conversation. This is where we are going to drop the curtain. And we'll see you guys some other time. And for those who are already part of the program, just keep making the best of it, all right? Keep making the best of it. The idea is for us to create results that matter, results that mean something, all right? So with all that said, we are going to draw the curtains for our conversations tonight. Get back to the person who invited you. But at the same time, if you have questions, I think maybe I should take a question too. So maybe I will just look at the screen just in case if there is any question, if anybody has any question that we can take. Let me check. You can begin your journey without going through the process. Mr. Solomon asked that question. You can be. I don't get your question, Mr. Solomon. I think maybe I can just unmute you so that you ask your question. If there is anybody who have any intent of asking a question, please just indicate so that I can also unmute you as well. But I want to unmute Mr. Solomon so that he can also ask his question. At the same time, I would like to end the recording so that we don't have too much, we save some space.